and welcome to another speed build. So today I'm building a little houseboat. I really like building houseboats and I've done a couple in the past, but haven't done it in quite a while, so I was really looking forward to this. So this one I actually built on the diagonal, which was a first, and made it a bit tricky to get the stairs in, but I think it worked out all right in the end. So with the colors on the outside, I changed these a lot, so look forward to that. I think I started out with quite some natural colors like brown and stuff, but changed that again later. So yeah, it's meant for a family, so it has room for two parents and then two children. Currently, it's set up for like a child and a toddler, but that could be changed easily if you want to play in this with different ages. So yeah, oh yeah, the outside has already changed to red now, and I put the little pillars on the sides to give it a bit more structure, and then it's a different color again and a different color of a roof. But yeah, so then to get onto it, I put these little stairs on the side, and that actually worked out because stairs on the diagonal don't work, but because of the shape in the front of the house there, these stairs fitted nicely. And then I started to create the lake that this houseboat is going to sit on. So I think it's been out pretty common to make lakes out of pools, and it works pretty well. So I think it looks really nice. I started with a lake that was a bit too small, so here I made it bigger so it looks like decent. It's still a bit weird because you have this lake in nowhere with a random houseboat on it, but well, we can't make proper rivers, so that's the best I could do. And then I changed the roof again. I didn't like the round shape, and I wanted a bit like something that had like a little bit of an over lay on the side. Then the door and windows on all sides. I went with this light wood. That's also going to be featured in a lot of the interior, so it looks like homogeneous. And then a little chimney on the top where the kitchen is going to be. I actually, before I started with the interior design, I did the whole lake setup. So this is pretty routine for me now. So I cut out everything in brown and then I placed a bunch of rocks on the bottom and then some plants that looked like they could be water plants. I didn't go quite overboard with like the plants in the lake, just a few to make it look less like a pool and more like a natural body of water. So yeah, I used mainly these fern-like ones, and then that's how it looks like from the outside. I think that's all right. And then I started concealing the sides of it. So I painted brown first a little bit, and then I basically start covering the whole rim in shrubbery. I cut out most of that because it just takes forever. It's just like a routine thing. You go around and you place green stuff on the sides. I mainly use like that little green shrubbery thing with the little flowers, but then also just some regular flowery bushes to make it look nice and colorful. And these water plants, I don't know what they're called, like the ones that you find on the sides of lakes commonly. And then I also put some stones because I really wanted this to look natural and like not very humanly tidied. So yeah, so rocks all over the place, a nice coloring on the landscape. And yeah, and then I also put some trees on both sides and then also a bunch in the back that I cut that out so you can see them now. And so it looks like it's in a little, it's set in nature. It's definitely not set in the city or anything. And then that little path to the front that I think looks really cute. And I immediately remembered to put a mailbox and a big trash can. Then I moved on the inside. There you see the stairs that I put them in on the diagonal, and then on the bottom, that's where the living room, the children's room, and the bathroom is going to be. But I started furnishing on the top, which is going to be the kitchen and the dining space. And it's quite cramped, but I did play test it and everything works, and it has 4 chairs, so that should be fine. And you can like get around the corners of these stairs to go downstairs. And so I could put the kitchen, like the counters and everything, that one corner, and then the table on the other corner. And I changed, as always, I changed the colors of this quite a bit. Ended up with this blue counters, and I think I made this whole thing bigger later though, because I did realize that you can get around the corner, so the fridge could move a little bit. And then I also used some cabinets on the top, although the smaller ones, yeah, there you go. And then I decided to put another counter and move the fridge. So there's actually a lot of counter space for the space being so small. The kitchen is very functional and got a little window too. For the wallpaper, I started with this wooden wall stuff, and then the little tiles, and went with the orange floor because it matched the tiles so nicely. Though I do change that later again. And then I removed the tiles on that one side because it kind of looked weird how they went only down half of the wall. So I moved the stove so you have the backsplash, at least for the stove, if not for the sink anymore. Yeah, no, the sink stayed on that side. And then the other corner, as I said, is where I put the table, just like a regular small squared one, because there's no room for more than that. And then I use the chairs from Tiny Living. So I used the stuff from the Tiny Living pack, but besides that, the whole build's just base game. So it's very limited in packs that you just need the Tiny Living pack. And I used that because downstairs I did want to use the Murphy bed for the parents. And also I just really love the style of the stuff that came with Tiny Living. So I like to use those currently a lot. And then I put some nice curtains and these little succulent plants and some what are those called, like badges? And I imagine these are things that the children have won. So that's a little bit of a like a family decoration corner. And then also a clock, very important, so you get to school in time and stuff. But I sized that up. I find the clocks really small, like in their regular size, so I usually size them up one step. And then, as always, I put the pots and pans on the wall and just some fruit and paper towels in the corner. I didn't clutter this up too much, although I tried to make it look lived in. So I like to put some stuff on the fridge because I personally store a lot of stuff on my fridge, and I think that's quite realistic for things you don't need that much or that are more like a bit decorative. And then I put some postcards there, which I think was like a cute touch, and used that shelf from Tiny Living in the corner. And then yeah, I decided that I just wanted more of a colorful look to this than the just plain wooden walls. So I went with yellow and a red accent wall, which then of course looked horrible with the floor. So that had to be changed too, and it changed to the same wood that I have on the outside deck. Although I do believe that I changed that again later. And then I first put these rabbits, but then I thought it looked a bit too childish, so I changed that to some pictures. And also put a plant and like a little backpack, imagining that that the children sometimes do their homework on the table and left their backpack there. So yeah, I think that's basically it for upstairs. Yeah, then I changed the floor and put a little further counter PC there. So yeah, actually fairly big kitchen. But yeah, then I moved to downstairs, and I skipped over the furnishing of the bathroom. It's pretty simple, but it took me forever to get everything functional. So it was like playtesting, moving around, playtesting, moving around, playtesting, moving around. So I cut that out. But yeah, it's basic, just white furniture, and using the toilet from Tiny Living and this little sink, and I actually shoved it into the wall a little bit to get the bathtub in there too. But now it should be working, like everything should be functional in this tiny little bathroom. The toddler's little toilet is in the kids' room though, which I don't know if that's realistic. I haven't had any toddlers myself yet, but there was no room in the bathroom. So yeah, then I put the Murphy bed on that side. And I don't know what happened, but like my plan was to have the couch on that because this is like the living room. And I imagine the parents are sleeping in the living room, but I completely forgot to use the Murphy bed that has the couch on the side. So I changed that when I play tested it. You don't see it in the video, but you do see it in the screenshots. I don't know how I could forget that. Like I didn't notice it at all while building that there's just no couch. Yeah, now I glanced over. So I put the TV there so you can sit on the couch that is gonna come and watch the TV. And then there's another little chair, and I use the bottom of this big lamp as more storage for some knickknacks, and then a guitar for at least some skill building, and a little crafting table for the children. and I did use this poof thing again. I think that's a really nice item. I love that. It's so cute. And I put a plant in that corner, although, and that's again something I only did later when I play tested it. And so it's not in the actual video. But instead of the plant in that corner, I did put a little desk with a laptop because I didn't think of putting a computer anywhere. And that actually fits quite nicely in there. So you'll again see that in the screenshot, just using the table from Tiny Living. And yeah, then some carpets. I like to overlap them like this. I think it looks nice and cozy and gives it like a nice homey look. And then in that corner, there's some more storage. I imagine that's where the parents keep their clothes. Of course, since they live in such a small space, it all has to be very minimal. But yeah, they at least have some private storage over there, while the kids have their own dresser in their room. And then one of these lovely pictures. And then I decided to color the walls. So I do that very often, that I start by furnishing a room and then later color it to see what matches the furniture that I've put in there. And here I went for actually quite bright colors again, like the yellow from upstairs and then some teal and some orange, because I think that fits well with the furniture from Tiny Living, although it is like quite bright. You have to like it. And for decoration, just some movie posters and a mirror here, like a full-length mirror, so you can also do some skill building there. And yeah, I think that's mainly it for the living room. Oh, there's some more decorations, like one of these boards. I thought the family can keep all their appointments and stuff there. And then more of these little succulents. I'm quite sure I put those in every room of the house, but yeah. And the little dinosaur in the corner, and then this tree on the wall. So the children have like a little nook under the chairs to play. And then the children's room, so it's 2 children, but they share a room, and the colors are just the same as in the living room. And then I used this dresser from Tiny Living. I think it looks a little bit like a changing table, although it's probably a bit too small for that. But because of this this rim that it has on the side, so I kind of decorated as a changing table for the toddler, and then put the toddler's toilet in there as well, and a nice little bookshelf to like so these 2 pieces of furniture are kind of separating the room a little bit from the older child's section, and then the toddler closer to the door. I did think about that, so the parents, when they come in at night to look for the toddler, they don't disturb the older child so much. Yeah, and that child also got its own personal desk to do homework, and then I used another little poof as a nightstand and put this great panda lamp on it, and just some toys, and yeah, and pens, of course, and posters on the walls. That's usually how I decorate the walls in children's rooms. I think it's quite realistic. But I also put some shelves on the wall and put some knickknacks, and I think mainly some books on that. So the child living here is quite fond of reading, although I don't think that these books are actually functional because the bed's in the way, but you can get books for reading from the Murphy bed setup in the living room. Yeah, and then I use these little balloons for some more decoration, and in the corner put the rainbow giraffe and a lunchbox, and then some more paintings on the walls. I use the rabbits here because I feel in the children's room it's fine. It can look like a children's room. And then, as you see, I decorated this as a little changing table, although there's no mat or anything on it. But yeah, I think that looks kind of cute. And then put a little chair next to the bed so the parents can sit there and read a nighttime story. That's why I put some books underneath, although I move that chair in the other corner in a moment. And then I also use the balloons here on that side. And then I realized that I actually can put windows down here, and you'll have like little windows into the lake, which I think is quite realistic for a boat. So I went through the whole downstairs area and put some windows here and there. Of course, they don't give you a lot of light, but it might feel a little bit less claustrophobic. And then I used the curtains to create this little wall decoration. And because I had to move the bed a little bit, the chair had to go in the other corner. And then the books remain next to the bed, though, a little bit like a nightstand too. I put a teddy bear and a little carpet too. And then I think that's almost it for the kids' room. There's, yeah, some more pictures and decorations there. I think a little plant. Here, there you go. Plants are important. And then the last thing left to do was the kind of front porch. So I created this little front roof thing over the door, just by like with floor pieces, and put another little chair outside. The patio area is like not huge, but there's still room on the lot, like outside, like on the side of the lake. So if you would want to have more outdoor area, like put a grill or something, there's still room there. I put a little carpet just to make it look cozy, and a pride flag, and then some baseball bat stuff for the kids. Changed the lamp out, and I oh yeah, I'm not sure that actually works. I didn't play test that. I put the monkey bars, but I really squeezed them in on the front of the lot. But well, yeah, I think it turned out looking quite cute. I'm quite happy with it. I struggle with the colors, but yeah, so house ended up to be blue on the outside in the end. But I'm quite happy with it. It's all functional. It's all very colorful. I think it's fun to play in here, and I hope you enjoyed it. So this is again was the upstairs, and then here we have the downstairs area with lots of blues and yellows. And there you see that I put the couch, and then I put a computer desk in that corner instead of the plant. I think I moved the plant under the stairs then because I didn't want to get rid of it. And here we have the cute little bathroom. It's, by the way, the same tiles as in the kitchen. I always try to keep like some consistency in my builds to make it look like more put together. And yeah, that's the kids' room. And that's the end of this. I hope you enjoyed it, and bye bye.